June 1982. Inside the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, the boards light up. Surveillance satellites park over the Siberian wilderness. They detect a heat signature that shouldn't exist. The telemetry screams a single, terrifying number: 3 kilotons. To the Air Force analysts staring at the screens, this looks like a first strike. A nuclear event deep inside the Soviet Union. The yield is a quarter of the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. But there is no radiation spike, no electromagnetic pulse. It wasn't a nuke. It was the largest non-nuclear explosion in history. And it wasn't triggered by a missile. It was triggered by a line of code. To understand the detonation, you have to understand the desperation. By the 1970s, the Soviet Union is technologically starving. They can build rockets, but they can't mass-produce microchips. Their solution isn't innovation, it's theft. The KGB establishes Directorate T. Their operating arm is Line X. Their mandate: steal Western R&D on an industrial scale. They aren't just taking blueprints, they are cloning entire industries. Enter Colonel Vladimir Vetrov. Codename Farewell. A KGB engineer disillusioned with the rot inside the Kremlin. In 1981, he hands French intelligence 4,000 documents. It is the roadmap to the entire Soviet spy network. The dossier reaches the desk of Gus Weiss at the National Security Council. The instinct is to arrest the spies. Weiss says no. He goes to CIA Director William Casey with a colder, darker option. "Don't shut down the pipeline of stolen tech," he says. "Poison it. The target, the trans-siberian pipeline. A massive artery designed to pump natural gas to Western Europe. To run it, the Soviets need automated control software, SCADA systems, that they can't build themselves. They steal the software from a Canadian firm. What they don't know is that the CIA has already been there. The code has been doctored. It is a Trojan Horse, a logic bomb waiting for a specific set of operational conditions to execute. Let's break down the forensics of the failure. A pipeline is a pressurized vessel. It operates on a delicate balance of flow rates and pressure limits. The software controls the pumps, which push the gas, and the valves, which direct it. The malware implanted in the system is designed to pass inspection. It runs perfectly for months. This is the decent interval required to lull the engineers into a false sense of security. Then, the logic bomb triggers. The attack vector is two-pronged and contradictory. Command 1. The software orders the turbines and pumps to reset their speeds. It pushes them into overdrive. The pressure inside the line begins to spike. Command 2. Simultaneously, the code commands the valves to close. In hydraulic engineering, this is a catastrophic conflict. You have maximum input force slamming against a closed gate. The kinetic energy has nowhere to go. This is where the attack becomes truly sophisticated. It utilizes a stealthy deception mechanism. In a standard SCADA attack, the operator would see the pressure warnings. They would hit the manual kill switch. But the Trojan Horse has hijacked the feedback loop. It intercepts the real sensor data coming from the remote terminal units. It effectively creates a fake view for the human-machine interface. The control room screens report normal flow and stable pressure. Reality and the digital readout have divorced. Inside the pipe, the pressure exceeds the yield strength of the steel joints. The welds begin to groan. The hoop stress goes critical. The operators are flying blind. They are looking at green lights while the physics of the pipeline is tearing itself apart. The rupture releases a massive volume of natural gas, which ignites. The resulting fireball is visible from orbit. The yield is estimated at 3 kilotons. The heat is intense enough to glaze the sand into glass. Forensic note: The CIA and former KGB operatives dispute the timeline. Soviet records claim the 1982 explosion was caused by natural thermal stress and poor construction, occurring in April rather than June. However, the scale of the event described by Thomas Reed and confirmed by satellite telemetry suggests a failure far beyond a simple construction error. But the kinetic damage is secondary to the psychological blast radius. Operation Kudo achieves something a nuclear weapon could not. It breaks the Soviet trust in their own supply chain. They realize that every piece of technology they have stolen in the last decade is suspect. The microchips in their fighter jets, the guidance systems in their missiles, all of it could be poisoned. They stop using the stolen tech, they freeze their own advancements out of paranoia. The technological leviathan of the Soviet Union grinds to a halt. The 1982 pipeline explosion proved a new rule of warfare. You don't need a bomber to destroy critical infrastructure. You just need to know what the enemy wants to steal and let them have it. In the end, the steal didn't fail because it was weak. It failed because it was told to.